So on Saturday, Liverpool are visiting the Vitality Stadium in what will be a very interesting fixture. With Bournemouth in the form they're in, Jeff, what are you expecting from the match against Liverpool?
I am feeling quite positive about this game. Here are the reasons, right? Well, Liverpool have been 1-goal winners in the last, I don't know how many fixtures. They've been particularly scrapey away from home. I mean, they beat Palace with a scrambled goal where, it was late towards the end and they really didn't deserve that victory. They were lucky against Sheffield United away. They actually should have lost to Manchester United away because they were poor in that game. And there's something about the way they beat Brighton again. They edged over the line. It was 2 Van Dijk headers, not brilliantly defended by Brighton, but they were poor against Napoli last week. Anyone who saw that game will have thought, they're sort of grinding out victories. And there's a lot of people who will say, oh yeah, well, winning when you're playing badly is a real art form, is the mark of champions. I disagree. I think they're just edging games. They're being very lucky with VAR and with refereeing decisions as well. That luck has got to run out. Equally, if you look at the way we've played the last 3 games, we've been unfortunate. We could have got 3 draws and we've got 3 defeats. We've had momentum shifts in the game where, if we take the chance, we're in a different place than we actually end up. And that sort of bad luck is unsustainable as well. So I think we need to go into this game and think, well, we've got nothing to lose, but let's get at them, give it a go, and who knows, our luck could change and their luck could change. And they've also got a horrendous December. This is one of the games where they are going to take their eye off the ball and think, we're just going to turn up and they'll roll over because they're a bit flaky at the moment. And I think if we go in with an attitude of take it to them, I don't think they're going to fancy it too much. And we've got a chance, because they're going to be looking at all those. They've got a tough European game coming up against Salzburg. They've got to get a result in that game. They've got that World Club game. They've got Carabao Cup fixtures. They've got league fixtures, and albeit they've got a bit of a cushion, I feel, I don't know why, but I feel we're going to get a result this time.
Yeah, you're not the first person to have said that. There were others that I was chatting to yesterday who do say the same thing as well. I think that margin that they've got over Liverpool at the moment, I do think that Klopp has managed to change their mentality this season, and they will get over the line, and I think it will be their first Premier League title. But 11 points or whatever it is, I know that Leicester are a little bit closer, but this could be a little bit of relaxation, rotation for them, chance for them to take their eye off the ball, and like you say, we could do it. What do you think the chances are, mate, of Harry Wilson being with us past the end of the season? Because the more the season's going on, the more I'm liking him, because he's getting more involved in every performance. At this point in time, I would happily trade off Ryan Fraser for someone like Harry Wilson. I really would. Yeah,
well, he's scoring goals, and he's also got a clever pass on him. He's quite Brooks-like, but he's not quite the full Brooks, is he? But also, he gives different things to Brooksy, with the free kicks, and that goal-scoring threat from outside the box. Whenever he hits the ball outside the box, you think that's going to go in or do something called some chaos, which, I'd love it if he joined us, but realistically, I don't know. I can't quite see it because, I don't know. I can't see it happening. Klopp won't sell him. He's that good.
Well, you never know, Jeff. You never know. Keep the faith. It could happen. Now, people at home are currently seeing pictures of Eddie Howe. This morning he was in the press conference. Obviously, he was visibly distraught in the week after Crystal Palace. But at the Vitality Stadium this morning, here's what he had to say. So,
one of the first comments that Eddie had to deal with was Everton speculation, but he was very respectful. And he said, I would like to say, first of all, I feel very disappointed for Marco. Secondly, I am 100% committed to this club, and I am embarrassed by the speculation amid our recent run. I'm invigorated and driven to get results here. He talked about the feeling low, and our league position, of course, is relatively low at the moment. But Eddie said, if you're not hurt, then there's a problem. I self-analyse and self-reflect, then rebuild and make sure the players are in a different frame of mind for the next game. On the relegation fight, Eddie said, every season we've been in the league and stayed away from the relegation zone, but we've stayed safe late. 1 or 2 results negatively could have swung at the other. The margins are very fine. Now, obviously, we've got Liverpool tomorrow, Chelsea coming up next week, Arsenal Boxing Day. Difficult runs, even Burnley. Eddie said the difference is this year the run has coincided with the fixtures. We would want to do better. We don't want confidence to be damaged, but we take confidence from the fact we've been here before. So, in terms of Liverpool, can we do anything? Eddie said we have to believe we can win. The players have to believe they can get a result. We can't have any negative feeling or emotion. Hopefully, recent results will galvanise the club and bring everyone together. And he also went on to say, I need players to show they care in performances. Words are hollow when you're not doing what you need to do on the pitch. They need to show me they're the qualities that I'm looking for on Saturday. But he said, I embrace the challenge. We need to go and rise to it. Have the team let him down? Eddie said, no. That's not my emotion. I take responsibility for what happens on the pitch. Of course, I analyse the players and ask for a response. That is what I'm focusing on. So what of the team news for AFC Bournemouth and the predicted lineup? Well, quite scary. Adam Smith will miss out with his ankle injury, been seen in a boot in the week. Steve Kirk will miss out seeing a specialist today based on his wrist. Obviously, not enough pain relief or strapping could have made it possible for him to play against Liverpool. And Josh King still will miss out, which makes the team lineup very, very scary. We do think there needs to be some kind of solidity in defence or in the middle of the park. We believe that Ramsdale's going to go in goal and Mepham and Ake will be at the back. We would like to see Stacey and Rico on either flank. Stacey is better equipped pace-wise to be dealing with the pace of, say, Mane and Salah, whereas, of course, Salah's on the opposite side, but with Mane, Stacey surely is better to deal with it than Frano. And now, he'll either go with Frano as a third defender, so a third central defender at the back, but we're hoping that he puts the extra man in the middle of the park. So we think he'll stick with Fraser and Danjuma out wide, not many other options, and then a midfield three comprising Lerma, Billing and Cook. I think Dan Gosling would be unlucky because he's such a disruptive character, but I'm not sure how he would work in that three. There needs to be someone deep. Lerma can play that role, and then Callum Wilson on his own up front. I don't think Solanke will maintain a place, but of course, he could go the old 4-4-2 with Frano right back, Rico left back, Stacey missing out, and then putting Cook and Lerma in the middle, and then Wilson and Solanke up front. But no, I'm kind of hoping he goes a 4-1-4-1. So that's what we think in terms of the team selection. Whether it's going to happen or not, I don't know. Now, if you would like to come for a chat after the game, win, lose or draw, we're going to be outside the 1910 bar and just on the other side of the fence. I'm going to be joined this week by a number of people, including Mr. Tiggs. Jeff's going to be there. Tom Jordan, you've seen early on. There's going to be a number of people actually coming along for a chat, and we'd love your input too. The more varied debate and conversation we have, the better. So straight after full time, head over there, and there may be a few people in line, but we will get you all on YouTube and on the podcast. So Jeff, I think we better go for predictions. I'm going
to go for 1-0 Bournemouth win. I don't know why I'm saying this, Jeff, but I'm going to go for a 1-0 Bournemouth win, and we're going to actually stop them from scoring. I think it's going to be similar to the Man United game. What are you going to go for?
I'm going to go for a 3-2 with Nathan Ake scoring in the last minute and everybody going absolutely mental again.
Oh, well, I'll be definitely doing post-match interviews if that's the case. Just before we wrap up, Jeff, a couple of things that we've just been asked on Twitter. Eddie Howe, when there are managerial sackings, certain clubs always seem to be in his kind of range, according to the bookies. And Everton and West Ham are two of those clubs. West Ham picked up a fine win at Chelsea last weekend, so maybe Pellegrini's got a little bit more breathing space. Does that worry you? Would Eddie Howe go to a team like Everton?
No, he is only talked about because the one thing that the media know is that he supported Everton as a child. And that is the only reason. There's never anything in it. He is not going to go to Everton. He'd be bonkers to go to that club at this moment in time. That's a tough job, and I think it will be an overseas manager because that's the way they roll. And no, it won't be Eddie. He's not doing that.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you said that. Ending on a positive.
Oh, and West Ham, no chance. Who would go to West Ham? Absolutely ridiculous idea. Pellegrini is going to hang in there after the result they got at Chelsea yesterday, and I think he deserves more time. Do you know what I heard about West Ham, which will delight you? I heard people talking about Yarmolenko, who destroyed us, you might recall, being a bit of a passenger, and when they take him off and bring on a sub, they actually are a much better team because he's not bothering to track back anymore. And the same for, who is it on the other side, that really skillful player, I can't remember his name, but anyway, they've got some issues with the team, but actually what happened yesterday, they play a different goalkeeper and suddenly they're back to what they were like. They're all believing in themselves again. It's weird game, football.
Yeah, it really is. Well, I certainly hope that Eddie Howe's not going to be, looking that far. I think, he likes being a crucial cog at AFC Bournemouth. He likes being close to the action, watching his team. Obviously, at West Ham, you're on the touchline. You need a pair of binoculars to see what's actually going on the pitch anyway. So I don't think it would suit him. But Jeff, once again, thank you so much for coming on the podcast and dissecting that. It's certainly not been easy of late, has it?
I want a victory to dissect. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Can we have that, please?
Yeah. Fingers crossed we'll get one. Thanks very much, Jeff.
All right, cheers. Thanks, Sam. Up the Cherries.